Hello everyone, I'm Jagrati Roy, a second year law student at University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. Today, I'll be discussing about sedition law in India. Well, we all have heard about Asim Trivedi, Arundhati Roy, Vinayak Sen, Kanhaiya Kumar or Hardik Patel. So, what was common in all of them? The common thing was that they all were charged under sedition law. So, now before moving forward with the sedition law, let's look into the history of sedition law in India. 1870, sedition law was introduced by United Kingdom in India, whereas in the United Kingdom itself from the year 1972 to 2009 they didn't had a single case of sedition, and thereby they decided to abolish the sedition law in the year 2009. Question is, when and where the sedition law originated? So, during our freedom struggle after the revolt of 1857, Britishers decided to codify the criminal law, and in the year 1860, IPC was introduced by Lord Macaulay on the recommendation of First Law Commission. Well, sedition was not there in the IPC when it was originally enacted, but after the amendment in the year 1870, sedition was added in the Chapter 4 of the Indian Penal Code, which relates to the offence against the state. Let's see what sedition actually means. So, sedition is defined under Section 124A of the Indian Penal Code, which states that when someone by his word, sign, speech, conduct, or by his action spread hatred among the general public or incite the public to rebel against the Indian government is termed as sedition, and that person shall be punished either with imprisonment for life, added with fine, or just fine. Now, moving forward with the cases. So, the first trial under sedition law took place in the year 1891 in the Banga Bashi case. Probably it happened after 21 years since sedition law was added to the Indian Penal Code. Now, let's see few of the important cases related to the sedition in India, starting with the Bal Gangadhar Tilak case in the year 1897, where he was charged under sedition and arrested for the period of 18 months, and again in the year 1908 when he defended two revolutionaries, Praful Chakki and Khudiram Bose, in his newspaper Keshri. Then again he was arrested under sedition law. After this, the number of cases under sedition law started rising, and numerous times court has interpreted the definition of sedition, wherein the earlier time there were only two essentials, which were public disorder and violence. But as the time passed, court felt that there is need to strengthen the sedition law, and therefore they narrowed down the definition and stated that any act which threatens the security of the state, that will be termed as sedition. As the cases started rising, the constitutional validity was challenged. In the year 1962, Kedarnath versus the state of Bihar, where Kedarnath was charged under the sedition because he criticized the government in his speech, and Supreme Court said that Section 124A of the Indian Penal Code is constitutionally valid. Now, in the year 1995, in the case of Balwant Singh versus State of Punjab, Supreme Court released many people who shouted Khalistan Jindabad, because even though they tried to incite the people, but there was no public provocation or any action from the side of the public, therefore this action didn't qualify for the sedition. Now, moving forward, in the year 2015, in the case of Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, where police arrested two women on the ground that they were posting offensive comments on the Facebook related to the shutdown of Mumbai state after the death of a political leader, where the court discussed about three aspects of the freedom of speech and expression, which were discussion, advocacy, incitement, and said that mere advocacy or discussion is not the ground for the sedition. So, as we can see how this law is being misused and has now came in trend to charge people under sedition if they show political dissent or disagreement with the government. Well, it cannot be completely abolished also, because to effectively combat the anti-national, secessionist and terrorist elements in the country, we need this. Like for example, Northeast secessionist movement. To control the situation, we needed sedition law. So, what are your views on the sedition law in India? Should it be abolished like United Kingdom or not? Do share your views in the comment box.